Footballers, day 6 of 30 for 30. This is Football Entangled. Welcome. How to destroy football talent. The unknowing saboteur. What does that mean? Nowadays, most footballers have become an unknowing saboteur. What does that mean? It means you're unknowingly sabotaging your own progress, your own health, your own performance across all avenues of life. And this is sad, it's unfortunate, but it is a reality that you have to deal with in our so-called modern world. Now, has anyone ever considered where football talent comes from? Many pundits, experts, and coaches merely look towards the gods, or even better known as genetics. I find it hilarious that people are so quick to think that these things are out of reach by a mere mortal, and that those we call naturally talented are simply lucky. People ignore the 18 years of childhood that went into creating that athletic specimen we call a talent. People don't realize that all those years as a toddler on the playground is what helps set up the foundations for elite movement capabilities and ultimately pain-free performance. That somehow the baby that was crawling everywhere barefoot is more athletic than the baby stuck behind an iPad. You see, talent is built into all of us from birth, but for one reason or another, most of us lose touch with it. That talent must be fostered, nurtured, and developed throughout childhood, or else your brain will assume you don't need it and will reassign resources to whatever else it thinks you need more of, based on what you are doing. And this window to build talent unconsciously only lasts for a short time of our lives. After you turn 18, it gets harder and harder to rewire your athleticism unconsciously. For some, it can be even younger at 16 or even 14. I see many players come to me at the age of 15 already with an injury list, unheard of 20 or 30 years ago. And sadly, we're seeing at even top football clubs, world-class talent being destroyed in front of our eyes. We have the Turkish kid Arda Güler, now injured for a third time just after he transferred to Real Madrid. We saw Jack Wilshere at Arsenal, his career destroyed with injury after having one of the best performances of a lifetime against Barcelona back in the Champions League. Ansu Fati is now playing at Brighton, and even just this morning, Gavi with a potential torn ACL. If world-class talents are being destroyed with the most elite methods at billion-dollar clubs, do you think lesser talents stand a chance? Do you think big clubs have any idea what they're doing? The truth is they are just as far behind as the rest of us. And if you are well-read, you'll know that innovation always and must come from the outside. It must destroy what is normal and move forward the current paradigm. This is because the people in power, in the mainstream, in the current paradigm, don't want to lose power, don't want to lose business. So they're going to do everything they can to keep you stuck onto a system that keeps you perpetually and chronically injured or not doing your best. So you're always stuck looking for that next supplement or the next equipment or the next pill or the next drug, all these things that keep you on a cycle like a hamster on a wheel. So what can you do to get out of this cycle of whack-a-mole therapy? You can realize that muscle-based gym methods is actually the opposite of elite athleticism. You can conclude that the pain itself is not the cause of the issue, but rather a clue. And that numbing the pain away with blood flow, pills, surgeries, and other symptom-based recovery methods will only create more issues in the long run. A player like Arda Güler came to Real Madrid. He was a skinny, young, fast-driven, and all the other pieces of natural talent that we talk about. He then had an unfortunate contact injury, which I will argue can be avoided if you're doing the right things, and then was thrown into a cycle of whack-a-mole therapy at Real Madrid. They stuff him with pills, injections, and supplements to numb away the pain. They put him in the gym to so-called toughen him up, add some muscle onto him, make him into a man, so to speak. They do quick fix surgeries to help him get back sooner. And then out of nowhere, he has a random soft tissue injury that he's never experienced before in his career. And then that happens again. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle of trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you didn't know, that is the definition of insanity. Now, these non-athletes, aka doctors and physios, have meddled with his athleticism like a baby with a machine gun and caused more harm than there was in the first place. I can only pray that he figures out on his own and realizes that doing the same thing over and over again, like we mentioned, and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Football Entangled is here when he's ready to get back to his old self. Give him the tools that he needs to unlock what made him so great in the first place. And ultimately, like you guys watching this video, what can you learn from his struggles? The answer is to become conscious to your talent, to wake up and take back what is yours, to build yourself into a resolute, rugged, and resourceful footballer that your body, mind, and spirit is simply unbreakable. Now, how can you start doing that? In my other videos, we've covered a bit of that, and I want to recap what you should be doing every single day of your life, or at least every single week of your life. You should be out in the sun. It should be barefoot grounded. You should be sleeping at a reasonable hour. You should not be exposed to artificial blue light into the eye and the skin. You should be eating real, alive food from the farmer's market that's local and fresh, not wrapped in plastic, not covered in pesticides, not GMO. You should be training in a way that builds your ability to heal, and that builds your ability to be adaptable on the pitch so that you are unbreakable. That's what we do inside the Entangled training system. You should be cross-training, which is one more way to make yourself resilient to your sport because it expands your vocabulary of movement. You should not be watching porn, watching Netflix, or playing video games. You should be experiencing real life because real life is a 5-star video game. You should be cutting ties with toxic friends that don't push you up and that bring you down. You should keep family that doesn't support you at an arm's length. And you should, of course, be tan. If you're pale, don't talk to me about training or anything. And lastly, you should believe in yourself. You should be able to smile in the mirror when you look at yourself because you know you're doing everything in your power to upgrade every single aspect of your footballing ability to achieve your dreams. If you're not, that's why you can't smile at yourself because you know you are living a lie. Now, if you want to get inside a group that gives you all the tools to do all of this, that gives you the support to stay on track, that keeps you accountable, and that will force you to get better than you could on your own, then we have a special annual offer for the Entangled Tribe 2.0. Hit the link down below in the description, and you can get a special 67% off deal on 1 year in the tribe. This is a commitment to us and yourself to become a serious footballer. This is day 6 of 30 for 30. My name is Taylor Davidson, founder of Football Entangled. I will see you very soon for day 7.